Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing one of my favorite videos on my channel, and that is speed reviews. So this is going to be everything that I was able to fully review and test out in the month of April. We have a lot of really big products that I can't wait to share my thoughts on with you guys. So if you enjoy that, stay tuned. I will also link my speed reviews playlist for you all. I do these on a monthly basis. And yeah, let's go ahead and just jump in. Okay, some quick housekeeping. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. Half of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel, and I would love to have you. So that being said, let's go ahead and get cracking on these speed reviews. The first one I want to do is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Wear. This is the old formula. They have now reformulated this, but I had received this in a wish list swap, and I was so excited to try it because I've heard so many positive reviews, and there is something in this that my skin does not like. It is very florally fragranced, and I think that could have been a part of it, but I had a pretty severe skin reaction to this. I only had it on approximately 2 hours because my skin just started to feel like uncomfortable. I took it off, my skin was very inflamed and irritated, and it remained that way for about a week. It took me a while to build, my barrier back up. So there's just something in this that my skin is not loving. This is the shade 411 Beige Ivory, and it appears like it would be pretty decent for me. This is dark, it runs a little more yellow, so the shade wasn't that great either. It felt like it oxidized a bit. Overall, just, not for me. Next up is the Glowish Bright Light Sheer Coverage Concealer. This is the shade Fair Light, and I'll swatch this for you guys because I know her shades are a little tricky. This one is pretty true to tone, I would say. I wish I had a shade above it for the summer. I actually might pick up the shade Light for the summer, but this is what Fair Light looks like. This is going to be a product, it's going to really depend on what you're looking for in the market, what your preferences are. This is not something that you can wear, or at least I can wear over full coverage foundation. Like, it doesn't have enough pigment and opacity to it. This, when it's marketed as sheer, that is true. It is very sheer. I literally put this over bare skin, and that's the only way that I like it. Essentially, on a no makeup day, I'll just tap 2 dots just to give me a smidge of coverage, lighten a little bit of the darkness. It wears really well. I feel like it moves with the skin. You don't use powder over it. There's not enough pigmentation to really even use powder over it. I did try, but this is really beautiful if you're someone who just wants a really light amount of coverage and you prefer to not have like a full beat or whatever. Like, this is perfect, no makeup. The next product I wanted to chat about is actually a sunscreen. It is the Sheer Mineral Sunscreen SPF 30 from Good Molecules. This is a mineral sunscreen. It claims to have minimal white cast, and I would say that that is true. I had a very minimal white cast while using this. However, I didn't really enjoy it. I just don't think that it's compatible with my skin type. I am combination, and I found this to be extremely drying. It was definitely causing some like texture and patchiness on my face when applied under makeup. So I think that maybe if you had oily skin, you might really enjoy this. It just was not vibing with my skin type, which is like fine, but I will continue to use this as like a body sunscreen, or maybe like even on my face for like those no makeup days. But yeah, overall, this is going to be a pass for me. Next up is a product that I've definitely been enjoying. It is the Dior Lip Glow Oil. I got the shade Cherry, and I enjoy this. I think that it's nice. I already shared a review over on Instagram. I don't think it's worth the $40. I think that this one does just as good of a job from Milani, and it's like 11 bucks. This is definitely more of a luxurious treat myself purchase. I like it. I do think that it does a good job of hydrating my lips, which is what I got it for. I think the packaging is like really, really cute. So I like it. I think if you're down to spend $40 on a lip oil, you would enjoy this one. I just don't think that, you know, it's life-changing, especially for the price. So really it's just kind of about what you're looking for. If you're looking for a splurgy item, I do think this is a fun one to splurge on. I use lip oils a lot, but yeah, really enjoying this one. Next up, I have the Smashbox Photo Finish Corrector, and this is the anti-redness one. So it has a green tint to it, and I'll swatch it for you guys right there. And I've been enjoying this. I truly do feel like it makes a difference on the skin and helping to combat redness. I actually have quite a bit of redness, so this has been a really fun one to incorporate. I don't feel like it dries my skin out or anything like that. It lays really beautifully under the makeup. It doesn't emphasize texture. I really think it's a good one. And this, like, I have not tried a lot from Smashbox in general. They sent this to me in PR. They sent me several, and I've been really excited to try them out. And especially since this one was a smash hit, now I'm like really curious about the other ones they sent. But yeah, I've really been loving the anti-redness primer. I just think it is so good. It contains algae, which is to help, you know, with inflammatories and stuff. So yeah, I really have been enjoying this, surprisingly. Next up, we have a powder. I did want to touch on this. I know I've reviewed this before, but this is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder. And the reason I wanted to touch on it is because this is the shade Sugar Cookie, which is the one that's marketed as translucent. And I don't know about you guys, but I've tried a lot of translucent powders that are just not translucent. They definitely have a tint to them, and a lot of times it creates like a darkness. And I'm wearing this one today, and I don't think that it does that. I think it's a true translucent. It really just melts into the skin. When you look in there, don't be scared. The powder looks white, but it melts in beautifully. And I personally do not see any kind of white cast or anything like that. So I think that this does a wonderful job, especially I love using this under the eyes. So if you're in the market for a translucent powder, this is a really, really good one in my opinion. Next up, we have the Danessa Myricks. This is the Lightwork liner. This is the black one. I gave kind of like a first impressions of this in a haul video, and it's a felt tip liner like that. And I will say I really like this for getting in on like the very close to the lash line, because it has just a bit of softness, so there's a bit of give, which allows me to really get in close on that lash line. But the bad side about having a softer liner like that is I don't feel like I can get as sharp of a wing as I normally do because it has that give. So I feel like I probably wouldn't repurchase it, but I don't think that it's bad. My holy grail is still the double take from Tarte, like that one. Sorry, my work phone was ringing, so I'm not really sure that cut me off, but I really love the Tarte one as a felt tip liner. This, like I said, is not bad at all. I really just think it's gonna come down to preferences and what you prefer in a felt tip liner. This one is definitely a little softer, so if you like that, you will definitely enjoy that one. The next product I wanted to chat about is not like necessarily makeup, but I'm so obsessed with it that I just had to bring it up. It's the Kayali Yum Pistachio fragrance. Oh my gosh. Like literally, you guys, I'm already like more than halfway done with this. This is so unique. Like I'm truly just blown away. I was really like unsure if I would like it or not because I typically did not enjoy sweet fragrances at all. Let me just freshen it up here. But the notes that come out like strongest to me are like the lime, the pistachio, and then the warmth of like the nut. That is like what I personally smell the most. So I think that's why this is like working really well for me. But it is just, oh my gosh, it's so good. Like I could literally just obviously like smell it all day. I'm so obsessed with this. If you can get to a Sephora and smell it, I obviously recommend doing that. But if not, like myself, I just ordered the travel size. That's what, like, just in case I didn't like it, I was only out like $20. I will also say I am really loving the package of the travel size. I think it's really high quality, really well made, super nice. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I'm really obsessed with it right now. So I thought I would just share what my experience has been, because I know it was kind of like blowing up in my little neck of the woods on Instagram. So I just want to let you all know that I love it. A product that I don't love is the Rare Beauty tinted lip oil. And I did a really in-depth review of this over on Instagram. And at the end of the day, I really just think this is so falsely marketed, which feels a little shady to me because, you know, lip oils are the it product. Well, I feel like lip tints are kind of coming for them right now, but like lip oils are what it was. And I feel like Rare Beauty kind of jumped on the bandwagon of that and marketed this as that, when it's so clearly not a lip oil. And at least in my experience, I've never experienced a lip oil like this. When you initially put it on, I do think that like it looks good. It looks glossy. It does have a little bit of a minty feel to it, a little bit of a tingle. The texture is jelly / water-based feeling in my experience. The thing that, you know, I really don't like is it's not moisturizing at all. In fact, I felt like it dried my lips out quite a bit. The second part is that usually with like even a tinted oil, when the product fades from your lips, so is the tint, because it's just a tint. This is a lip stain. So you need to make sure that when you're applying it, like, no sloppy corners, girl. No sloppy corners. Like, you got to have it all squared away, because within 30 seconds, this is going to leave a stain. So you got to have that together, which also is like, man, I don't really like that for just like wanting to slop on something and reapply it for hydration, like a lip oil. That's what I use a lip oil for, you know, like hydration, putting it on, whatever. And this, I just kind of feel like you can't really do that because it leaves such a impactful stain behind on the lips. That being said, the stain does last a few hours. So if you're into lip stains, but if you're looking for a lip oil, like a tinted lip oil, I think you'll be disappointed, because that's not what this is at all. It's just, so that was kind of disappointing. I'm going to keep it in my collection for now. But to be honest with you, I haven't reached for it since I reviewed it, just because, like I said, it gets drying. So then what I do is I usually put a lip oil over it for hydration. So I felt like this was a pretty big letdown. It's not what I thought it would be, but yeah, those are my thoughts. All right, so next up, another product that I really loved is the Natasha Denona Alloy Palette. This is the one that came in the April Ipsy box, and I love it. The shades on here are Golden Flesh, Earth 102 cm, and then Flesh 104 cm, Suntan 306 cm, and then Atra 107M. So just in case you were curious, I know I had a comment about that on the last video I shared this in, but I really, really love this. I think that this color story is right up my alley. The mattes perform really beautiful, what I've come to expect from Natasha Denona, as well as the shimmers. They're not like the super sparkly thin formula. They're the formula that we see in her palettes most often, which is nice, still pretty reflective, sparkly, just not like amped up. But yeah, I've really just been, I love this. I think that it is so good. I've tried some of her minis with the larger pans like this before, and they really just haven't been my jam, but this one was definitely a home run. If you can snag it, I highly recommend. I'm sure some of these will be on like secondhand reseller sites if I had to guess. That's usually where some stuff from Ipsy ends up, but I really loved it in case you were wondering. Now, the next product, this has taken me a long time to freaking decide what I feel about it. It's the Haus Labs Trioclone Skin Foundation. I have the shade, what shade do I have? Oh, does it not say on the bottom? Oh yeah, 110 Light Neutral. Has like translucent like writing on the bottom, so I was like, ugh. But I have been trying this for, I would say I probably tried this 10 to 12 times now to try and decide how I feel. First off, the packaging is very luxurious. I think that is, you know, a really great feature because it is more expensive. So you are getting luxurious, heavy packaging. I think that the shade is really great for me. So enjoy that about it. Now, the thing is the formula. It makes me so mad because I feel like the product is very finicky. So about once every 3 to 4 times, I can get it just right to where it looks so freaking good. And that's why I'm like, do I love it? Do I hate it? Do I keep it? Do I declutter it? I don't know. Because once every 3 to 4 times, I can get it to where it looks so good on the skin. But the rest of the time, it looks terrible on my skin. Like it separates, it like looks like dry patches here, there, and everywhere. It just makes my skin either look phenomenal or horrid. And I tried this with so many different combinations to like try to get it to work. And the thing is, it's like, oh, you would think, okay, well, when it worked well for you on the 3rd time, do that exact same prep, application, all of that stuff. Well, I did that and then it still didn't look good. So like, I don't know what it is. I just think that this is very finicky. Like sometimes it looked great with a sponge, sometimes it didn't, sometimes good with a brush, sometimes it didn't. Sometimes it looked best if I wore an oil, sometimes it looked horrid if I wore an oil. Like I just cannot get it to consistently look good. And I don't know if that's because of like my skin type and texture or because of the formula or a little bit of all 3. I think that could be it. But I went back and forth on it, and obviously I've wanted it to work for me. I wanted it to work. I tried it so many times because I'm like, this is the perfect shade. You know, when it looks good, it looks good. But man, when I don't get it right, it just looks so bad. And yeah, so I've gone back and forth on it, and I personally don't think that I would recommend this. I just think it's too finicky. It's something that like I know that I'm not gonna reach for because there's a good chance it's not gonna look good that day. So that's how I feel about it. If you've tried this, let me know in the comments what your experience has been. Good, bad, or something similar to mine where it's just like, you know, luck of the draw if it looks good or not, because that's where I was kind of at with it, which really bums me out because, like I said, when it looks good, you guys, it looks really good. It's just really hard to get it there. So yeah, for that reason, just a little too finicky for me. So I don't think I would recommend that or repurchase it. I actually think I will probably declutter it because I don't think I'll reach for it knowing that. And, you know, somebody else could really love it and get use out of it. So that is my thought on that. But yeah, those were all the products that I tried during the month of April. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments if you had any similar experiences with these products, or even if you love ones that I didn't like. I always enjoy reading that. It's so fun to see just how like makeup performs so differently for everyone. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.